Okay, that was a sound issue. Bitsy, please. Okay, it is Monday night. I'm going to start over. It's Monday night. It is June the 7th, 2017. Please let me know if you guys can hear me out there. And I have moved my show from Monday nights until Wednesday nights. A little bit better of a night for me. I have a scheduling conflict now on Monday nights, so I hope it's good for you guys. But we're here to talk about healing, natural healing, detoxification of the lymphatic system, the body sewer system. It's where your immune system resides. It's where the acids from your cells, your 100 trillion cells roughly, dump their acidic waste. And it's the place that can get stuck. The blood system moves very quickly through the body. The lymph is very, very slow. It needs, number one, it needs alkaline chemistry. The food that you take in should be alkalizing. A lot of the food we take in the West especially is acidic, and when the lymph system turns acidic, it slows way down, sometimes to almost just complete stagnation. And that's when the trouble begins. It turns acidic and starts chewing on you, burning your cells, destroying tissues, organs, glands, bones, joints, what have you. So it's real simple. We just basically start taking in the right kind of foods. We're basically a Fruitarian. We're a primate species that really, really does well on a high fruit diet. And, some tender leafy greens and, salads and things like that. The raw veggies are really, really good for us. So if you can predominantly eat that, you're going to do great. Now, if you're really, really super backed up, you're getting chewed on, you're starting to burn up from the inside, you want to go really, really high fruit, 100% in a lot of cases. So that's really it. That's it in a nutshell. The kidneys are what filters this great lymphatic system. So we want to make sure those are filtering. And you can tell by peeing into a jar, if it's cloudy, it means you're filtering. You're actually releasing those acids from the body. So it's great. And there's a lot of tricks to get kidneys filtering. Number one is using kidney herbs along with short-term dry fasting. When you dry fast, in other words, you don't take any solid food or any liquids in, the kidneys get a chance to rest and they get a chance to heal, and they basically start dissolving obstructions within themselves, and now they can start to filter this lymphatic waste and get these acids out of the body. So as Dr. Morse says repeatedly, there's only two sides to chemistry, acid or alkaline. All the damage really takes place on the acid side of chemistry in the body. So we alkalize the body, and we don't do that by drinking Kangen water and these high pH waters and all that. That does not get down into the lymph system. We've got to actually, remove the acids already in the lymph system and alkalize it by getting it moving. It will alkalize itself if it moves. You actually have friendly bacteria that are in the lymph nodes that actually will neutralize acids in the lymph system. So there's a lot to it, but it's really, really simple. If you just keep it real simple, get the kidneys filtering, move the lymph, and also get the skin healthy too. The skin is the third kidney. It does actually a lot of work in releasing toxins and acids out of the body. So you want to make sure you're sweating. If you're not sweating, it's a sign that your thyroid is down, and you need to work on that thyroid. And go to a sauna. Just get sweating. It's really a great, area of elimination for toxicity in the body. So you get the kidneys filtering, you start sweating, and make sure that your GI tract is healthy. The average American only has between 2 and 4 bowel movements a week. We should be having 2 to 3 bowel movements a day. When you see an animal like Bitsy, right after she eats, within a half hour, an hour or so, she has to go to the bathroom. And, because the GI tract starts here and ends down there, and it's one big long pipe. So, when the food comes in, the other stuff goes out. It's a natural thing. So restoring the bowel function is really important because, a lot of organs and glands stem off of that as sort of the trunk of the tree. And also a lot of toxins obviously are released through the bowels. So those three areas, if you're eliminating properly out of those three areas, kidney, skin, and bowels, the acids do not have a chance to build up in the body and start turning back on you and destroying you. Now, this is what is, when it does that, the medical community calls this disease. I don't believe in diseases. I think they're a fiction, just like Dr. Morse teaches. They're a fiction of the medical community. They give it a name. They give acidosis and acid damage a name. And then also, when you get stagnant lymph in the body, it's a great attractor for parasites like funguses, bad bacteria, viruses, and whatnot. And so, again, stagnant lymph attracts those kinds of things. So, if you are still in the germ mindset that the germs are what are really causing the problems, this is a win-win for you, because as you get that lymph moving, those pathogens are quickly destroyed by the body. The body is great at identifying things that should not be there, and has a whole army that will go to work and actually get those out of the body if they can get there. That's the big if. If the lymph system is moving, if there aren't these stagnant pools, that army, of lymphocytes, natural killer cells, macrophages, what have you, can get to those bad guys and destroy them. Okay, so your natural immunity will turn back on as that lymph moves. So any way you slice it, it's all revolves around this system. And, we're just here to educate you on this, and you will heal yourself, and you will actually be a guide for others to heal, because they'll see the results in you very quickly. And I was actually listening to a Dr. Morse video today, and a guy wrote in about his father had Parkinson's disease, which is basically acidosis in the head. The head has blocked up, it's turned acidic, and it's turning back on the brain, causing lesions. Usually the adrenals are down too, because that manufactures neurotransmitters. So these systems are shut down. He has what's called Parkinson's disease, lymphatic stagnation. And he gave his father, I believe it was a kidney herb, a lymph herb formula, and I think it was a brain and nerve formula. And he was standing up within a few hours. So these are the kinds of miracles that can happen. Now, not everybody reacts that quickly. Some take many months, sometimes longer. It all depends on what's going on. That particular body, all that. But that's just an example of some of the miracles that can happen through detoxification. And, never underestimate the power of herbs. Herbs are really nothing but vegetables with a huge attitude, and very, very powerful, and very, very intelligent. They can really, you can put a bunch of herbs in the body at once, and they all go out and seem to do what they do best. They have an intelligence to them, if you will. So that's it. That's sort of the nutshell education in this. And then, we're here to talk about the nuances to help you guys clarify some certain things. But move your lymph and get the kidneys filtering, get the skin filtering, get the bowels going, and learn about herbs a little bit, and you're going strong. And if you could eat 80% fruits, berries, and melons, you're going to have a great life, and you'll be able to turn around things that are maybe not making you feel so good. So I always tell people the best way to begin, if that's too big of a hurdle, is just do fruit till noon. The morning is the body's in this great elimination mode, and if you just do fruit till noon, have fruit juices, have bowls of fruit. Smoothies are great also. And then at noon, have more fruit, have a fruit salad or another smoothie, or maybe a big salad, a big tender leafy green salad. And you're at that point, you're 75% there. So not too difficult, really not too difficult. So okay, yeah, a little sound problem beginning again. Okay, we have, that was Susie Snowflake checking in. Susie, great, good to see you here again. Jay the Explorer. Jay, you sound new, welcome. We got Alpaca. Yes, I can hear, I'm new here. Okay, Alpaca's here, all right. Speaking of alpaca, my daughter just texted from Peru holding a gigantic anaconda snake. Unbelievable. And these little pet, what do you call them? They're little pet lemurs or sloths. I think they're sloths, yeah. And she said she went fishing for piranhas. So anyway, she'll be back on Monday. She's been gone be gone a total of 6 weeks. So I'm going to be glad to have her back. So Alpaca has a question. Hold on here. We just skipped ahead. Question: does cystitis weaken the kidney filtering system? After many chronic cases in childhood, it seems the kidneys stop filtering because the urine is clear. Yes, that is a sign your kidneys are not filtering. When you pee into a jar and look at it, and that urine is crystal clear, you're not filtering. So the cystitis is an inflammation. Of course, any itises are inflammations. So yes, an inflammation will stop the filtering, of course. So you want to bring down the inflammation. You can do that, of course, by like I say, the alkaline chemistry of the fruits, and also the kidney and bladder herbs are really wonderful for that. And there's some circulation herbs you can do too. The lymphatic herbs. You just want to try to get those kidneys filtering. You can try a little short-term dry fasting. You can start out. Anybody can do 12 hours. You just stop eating or drinking at, let's say, 8 o'clock at night. And then you don't have anything to eat or drink all night long. Don't wash your hands. Don't brush your teeth. Nothing. Stop all fluids, any exposure to fluids, and then start again at 8 in the morning. You've done 12 hours. Now that's a beginner, of course. Work it up to 16, 18 hours a day if you can. Lower your, lessen your feeding window. Give those kidneys a rest so they can start working on themselves. That'll help you a lot. That's been actually one of the biggest things in kidney filtration that we've discovered just recently. And even Dr. Morse says, I don't know how it works, but it's working. And he's a big proponent of short-term dry fasting. He doesn't recommend anything longer than 36 hours, by the way. So, you can work your way up to one time a week doing 24. But this, combined with the kidney herbs, this has really, really been, good for getting tough kidneys to filter again. And, that's the key to getting rid of all itises. Itises just mean inflammation. Okay. So that's that. By the way, anything that's inflamed close to the kidneys, like the bladder, like the prostate, will be the first things to actually, clear out. And, so basically any kind of itis is basically stagnant lymph. It's now gone hot on you, gone acidic, and is causing inflammation because, the body wants to protect itself from burning up. So it actually, will, inflame. It's a inflammatory reaction. And, you get that lymph in there to actually buffer those acids. And because lymph is a very lipid-based fluid. It's a fatty-based fluid. So that will help, sort of buffer those acids. So that should help you. Work on those kidneys and watch the inflammations come out. And I guess it's these kinds of things. We have the Fab 4 kit, the basic. I call it level 1 detox. I talk about this all the time. You use kidney herbs to get the kidneys filtering. You use adrenal herbs to get the adrenals back up and running because they sit on top of the kidneys. They control them. It's hard to get filtration without, good adrenals. And then also the adrenals make antacid steroids that actually counter acids, which will bring down inflammation in the body. That's one of their big functions. So we got kidneys, adrenals, and we've got lymphatic herbs to help move lymph, help pull on it and get it moving. And then we've also got herbs for the GI tract. As I said, a major channel of elimination. That's your basic 4, so you could start there. Okay, we got Stephanie Ross just saying hello. Hi, Stephanie. Good to have you here. She's the one that really knows a lot about turpentine and all that. So, so good to have you here, Stephanie. We got Shamika. All right, Shamika. Hi, Mark. How much grape lemon juice should I intake per day? Okay, so, if you're doing the grape lemon juice fast, I do 1 lemon per quart, okay, per quart of grape juice. And, if you're really, really serious about the fast and not taking in anything else, in the beginning, you're going to be very hungry, okay? And you might get a lot of blood sugar swings, because the adrenals need to get adjusted to all this. So, but I was super hungry. In the beginning, I was drinking a gallon a day just because I was so hungry. And I did 44 days on just grape lemon juice and some herbs and the psyllium pudding. I did the full master fast. And by the end of the fast, I was down to less than a quart of juice a day. So I would say, Shamika, do as much juice as you want. I don't want you to go hungry. You need all that, all that carbon in you. The energetics of the fruit is really, really important in healing. Okay, so you need that. You need that in you. So let the body tell you how much you need. Okay, but drink all you want. All right, and that's your body will tell you. And from my experience and other people's experience, the amount you intake will lessen and lessen and lessen. Okay, don't overdo it, but don't ever feel like you're just starving. Okay. We got C Tahoe. Hi, Mark. After you mentioned ayahuasca, I researched a lot, but wondered if you could explain a little more. I cannot. Oh, hold on here. I lost this. I cannot get to retreats too far away, and they say not to take the medicine alone. So, wondered how you took and experienced it. Thank you. Okay, so there's a couple ways to do it. If you can't go that far, if you want to do it legally, there's two churches. One is called Santo Daime, Santodaime, and the other one is called Una de Vegetal. They're both Brazilian churches, and they do have, I don't know what city you live in. If you live in Tahoe, I know there's a church in San Francisco. There's a couple here in Los Angeles, so you'd want to get a hold of them if that's what you're being called to. Ayahuasca is very, very powerful. It's a very powerful healer. It's a very powerful spiritual healer, and also a physical healer. You do a lot of what's called la purga. It's a purging. It's a cleanser. It's a physical cleanser. Don't let that frighten you, though. A little bit of purging is not so bad, and you come out both ends sometimes. But you get a lot of insights, and then I don't really want to go too much into it here because I'm going to actually do some separate kind of spiritual things. It's a bit out there for a lot of people, so I don't want to freak people out. But I've had some beautiful experiences with it, some very beautiful healing experiences, and I'm going to leave it at that. But if you need any help locating a church, get a hold of me. Go ahead and email me. Okay. Ayahuasca is available in Costa Rica. Yeah, I actually visited some people down in Costa Rica. If you go onto YouTube, they're called Soul Circle, SOL Circle. And they have a beautiful community down there in the forest, right above Dominical, Costa Rica. And they lead beautiful ayahuasca singing circles down there. And it's actually right down the road from Ardi. The Dr. Morse. They're building a retreat down there, so it's right down the road. It's the most beautiful part of Costa Rica, if you ask me. It's in the Diamante Valley. The largest waterfall in Central America is there, and just 500-foot cliffs surround it. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous, and they're really neat people down there. There are a couple other retreats in Costa Rica too. I believe there's some in Mexico too. It's great. The ayahuasca is finding its way. They call her it's the mother ayahuasca, the Pachamama. She's actually coming out to the world now to bring her healing to us. So I'm not surprised that people are getting interested. Anyways, good. Not for everybody though. I would only really do it if you're really super called to it. You'll know. You'll just get a lot of you'll just have an insatiable desire to learn more about it, and that's sort of you'll know you're being called to it. We've got Sismon Kurzinski. Hi everyone. I was wondering if I can switch from watermelon juice fast into grape fast. Sure, why not? Or should I wait a week and eat fruit before I do another fast? I don't see why you couldn't switch into it. Listen to your body, of course. Watermelon's very, very powerful for me. It sends me into healing, episodes very quickly. It feels like it's more powerful than the grape to me, even though it just tastes very watery. But I've never heard you had to wait. But listen to your body. But I think you'll be fine if you can tolerate the watermelon fast. You certainly should be able to tolerate a grape juice fast. Raw Steel, hi Mark, hi Raw Steel. The Fruit and Botanicalist is back. 16 a day is the sweet spot for great filtration, along with kidney boost and adrenal boost. 16 a day, is that 16 hours dry fasting? Is that what you're saying here? So I'm going to say 16 hours a day dry fasting, and along with the kidney boost and adrenal boost. Okay, all right, good. That sounds good to me. Where did we go? Jay the Explorer. We've got a question: a need to get kidneys filtering, but no access to herbals. Cannot import them. So just dry fasting then. I live in Costa Rica, so do have access to all sorts of great fruit. Yeah, a lot of those Latin countries, it's hard for us to get the herbs in there. Let me know if you've ever tried to get them in there. I've never had anybody ask me to ship them to Costa Rica from Javana, so I don't know what they're probably pretty sticky on that. If you can get to the market and herbs like parsley, nettles are really good for the kidneys. Might be able to find nettles. Definitely can find parsley. Dandelion you might be able to find down there. Maybe look at some of the herbs in my kidney tea and in the lymphatics and all that, and see if there's translate those into Spanish and see if you might be able to pick those up. But yeah, if I was in your position, I would certainly incorporate some dry fasting. There was somebody actually in that Dr. Morse video that I listened to today that got filtration on water fasting in 8 days. But dry fasting seems to be really the key. So yeah, dry fasting and high fruit. Go to the more astringent fruits like your lemons and your citruses will help you with that. But try to get some kind of herbs, even if it's just parsley. All right. So let us know how you do, Jay. Rosaline Chow, good, you're here. Okay, excellent. Good to see you. Good to or see you're typing. So AZ, Arizona. Yeah, you'd probably have to come out to LA for that. There are some people that come to the LA church from Phoenix. I know. There's one in Denver. I know there's a church in Denver. But I'd probably have to come out to LA. We got Sheila. Hi, happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you, Sheila. I wanted to try it for anxiety and depression. Yeah, if you go to look up a thing called MAPS, MAPS, and they're using they're doing some I think they're actually clinical trials on using the ecstasy and for PTSD, those anxieties and depressions from that. So MAPS. I think his name is Rick Doblin that's doing the research. But there is a lot of research being done around the world with certainly ibogaine. It's like ayahuasca, but it's supposed to really help people with strong addictions and things like that. So yeah, there's research into these psychedelics. They're usually classified as a with no medicinal uses, so they're highly regulated. So it's hard to actually do research with them. But it's a field, and I'm sure you've seen on YouTube, people having claims of that their anxiety and depression lifted from working with the plant medicine. You may want to go down to Peru and work with a real shaman down there. Somebody who's super experienced with this. And I have some names of some good ones down there. If you want to just get a hold of me, go ahead and email me. You're welcome, Sitaho. Alpaca, I have a very important question. How would boils in the groin, bikini line, or piloidal cyst be cured after suddenly becoming allergic to everything? All right, so of course this is lymphatic, as is pretty much everything. So suddenly becoming allergic to everything. So it sounds to me like your lymphatic system is blocked up. This is in kind of the lower areas here. You sound, yeah, a female. So, I would definitely get on the Fab 4, kidneys, adrenals, GI tract, and lymphatic herbs. You could add in some circulation herbs, and the female reproductive, get things moving down in that area. Get sweating, get kidneys filtering, obviously, get up to at least 2-3 bowel movements a day, try to get to that, at least a bowel movement a day, and start eliminating toxins, getting lymph moving. We can also help physically too. We can get on a rebounder. You can dry skin brush, stimulate this lymph. It doesn't have a pump. Hot and cold showers. There's lymphatic massages. I have videos on my website how to do that. So, yeah, allergies really are tied to the lymphatic system too. When that slows down, you get an allergic reaction to things you never did before. Like some people get a spider bite and they have to go to the hospital. It's so bad. That's because their lymph isn't able to clear it. Their lymph's not flowing, so it does not clear these toxins that have come into the body. So it could be maybe you're allergic to something. Sometimes people get sensitive when their lymph isn't moving, and maybe the toxicity from the dryer sheets. If you're still using dryer sheets, change your detergent. There's things like that. But if you're that sensitive, it's a sign you're not moving lymph. So move lymph, and both physically, herbally, and through changing your diet. Get an alkalizing diet. So the great thing about fruit, especially the citrus, is it dissolves mucus. It dissolves hardened mucus. So that's the beauty of that. So it's real simple. Thank you, Mark. Chat is acting up. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Let me know what's going on. Alpaca, I realize this is a byproduct of leaky gut. I don't necessarily believe in leaky gut. If you have true leaky gut, you're gonna stink. You're gonna really stink, and you're gonna become, toxic. Get toxemia real quickly. So I don't really believe in that. A lot of this leaky gut is really, this is the great thing about the GI Brim and Dr. Morse's stomach and bowel formulas is that, a lot of things are, can eliminate, the waste in the bowels. A lot of these bowel cleanses will do that. They'll get rid of that, all that impacted waste and all that. Getting rid of the mucoid plaque and this and that. Colonics, enemas, things like that. But you want to actually get in and you want to pull lymph and move lymph in the bowel wall. Because if you have stagnation in those bowel tissues, then that starts to burn you. Okay, and a lot of that is mistaken as leaky gut. All right. So, yeah, you want to really work on those bowels. And in essence, you're right. I mean, you're not eliminating toxins properly, so they're backing up in the system. And so get those areas of elimination working, and you're going to do fine. All right. So and Crohn's, yeah, that's what I was just saying. Yeah, they call it when the bowels get really acidic and start deteriorating because they're being chewed on by the acids. They have all kinds of names for this: irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, enteritis, gastritis, all these things, So these are all itises, they're all inflammations. Inflammation is a natural response to acids burning you. Body's trying to protect itself, it's trying to buffer itself. But then you get inflammation, and then that inflammation is a bunch of lymph there, and then that goes stagnant and burns you more. So you got to move it. Move. Doctors say there's no cure to this disease, and they don't have a cure for any disease. They just have treatments. They don't understand it. They're just misguided souls, unfortunately. And they play into it's a complex system. I don't want to put down doctors. A lot of good-hearted people out there that got into it for the right reasons, but the diseases that they invent are, overlooking the fact that they're acidosis, it's acidic, and not understanding that action, then they say, oh, they blame it on some kind of a bacteria, a virus, this and that, and it just becomes an endless circle, and they can't get it done. So basically, move that lymph and heal it. There's ways to do that with the assistance of the herbs, especially. And you guys know that I did that Dr. Schultz's formula with all that cayenne pepper, and I used the habaneros, and I actually burned my GI tract. It was sore for almost 3 weeks, and the thing that really helped me out so I could heal was slippery elm and marshmallow root tea. That really helped me out. So if you do have these kinds of things, if you are burning on the inside like that, use those kind of herbs to really soothe everything, so you can heal. That really helps. But the GI broom is wonderful. Might be a little harsh in the beginning, so make sure you have some marshmallow root or slippery elm to make some tea. So it'll actually coat. It gets really mucousy when you make the tea. It almost doesn't hardly go through the strainer. There's so much of a gelatinous material there. But that coats you and actually soothes you so you can heal. It's very anti-inflammatory and very antacid. Fruit and botanicalist dry fast. I'm sorry, I forgot what your question was. I'm really sorry. Hold on. Oh yeah, 16-day dry fast. Okay, right. 16-day dry fast is the sweet spot for you. Okay, wonderful. That's good. Wait. 16 hours a day dry fasting is, I got to clarify that. Yeah. 16-day dry fast would be a Herculean feat. Although Gabriella's Cast did a 15-day dry fast without any food, any water, nothing. Just amazing. Okay, so Rosaline, what are the differences between stomach and bowel formulas compared to the GI broom? Well, the stomach and bowel formulas, he's got 5 of them. The 0 is no stimulation of the bowels at all. That's if you're really, actually has stuff that actually will bind you. So if you have a lot of diarrhea and all that, really loose bowels, that's a good one. Number 1 has no stimulation, but it doesn't have things to really, it's just if you just are going 2-3 times a day, but you still want to have the herbs to help, heal those bowel tissues. Number 2 is if you're only going, once a day, or maybe skip a day once in a while. And then you got 3, 4, and 5. 5 is if you're just hardly going at all and you really need some power to get you going. So those all adjusted. And then you have the GI broom, which is a powder that really has a lot of astringents and lymph movers in it. Really powerful. It does have a little bit of buffers too, like slippery elm in there. But it's really meant to work really a lot more deeply on those bowel tissues. It's really good for pulling sulfur out of the body, which a lot of us have. Okay. And then I've been taking your GI tinctures. Is this as strong as the 2 above to clean one's GI tract? Okay, so I have the GI Boost with Javana, and you can make a tincture out of that. If you're doing the master fast, you don't want to take in any kind of solid things. The stomach and bowels formulas are capsules. The GI broom is a powder. That will actually turn on your digestion. You don't want that on the master fast. So that's why you would make a tincture or a tea out of the GI Boost. So let's see. Yeah, is it as strong as the 2 above? I would say, it does have some Cascara sagrada in there. So, if you need, the idea with that is if you need to have more stimulation in the bowels, take more. Find your level. Take that GI Boost to the point where you're getting, some bowel movements. And that's the idea behind that. It does have some astringent herbs in there. It does have some cleaning herbs in there. But I would say that, if you're not doing the master fast, the combination of the stomach and bowel formulas and the GI broom powder is really good because when you take the whole herbs in, they kind of sit in the GI tract longer. A tincture will get absorbed into the whole entire body real quickly. The powders and the capsules and things like that, they'll last longer in the GI tract and do their work. So that's the philosophy behind the capsules, okay, and the powders. So yeah, if you're not on a master fast, I would actually do those kinds of things for the GI tract. Or you could actually take the GI boost and put it in a smoothie or encapsulate it yourself. Then you'll get the raw herbs into the GI tract. Hope that helps you. Terrell, hi Mark. I love adding lemons to watermelon juice. Wow, that is strong. That is super strong. My teenagers call it the world's best homemade peak lemonade. Oh, that's awesome. It does sound really tasty, actually. But that's a powerful. You got the astringency of those lemons, and the watermelon's surprisingly powerful. If you guys can handle that, good for you. Thank you for sharing your generous heart and knowledge of all with all of us. Absolutely, Terrell. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. That's really cool. Awesome. We got C Tahoe. Thanks so very much. You bet, C Tahoe. Yeah, get a hold of me. I can talk to you more offline about all that stuff. Jay the Explorer, question: how is it that highly acidic fruits, lemons, pH 2, grapes, pH 3, etc., lead the body to a more alkaline state? Well, this is a great question. A lot of people ask that, and it's because they have a thing it's called ash, and they actually burn the stuff down to an ash state, and then they measure that. That shows the alkaline quality of it inherently. And what happens is that the reaction it has in the body is actually an alkalizing reaction, and they really look at really look at the ash state, and in fact things that are actually alkaline foods sometimes are not really good for the lymphatic system, as far as they actually contribute to more acids in the lymphatic system. So you take a lemon, okay, pH of 2, it has an alkaline ash to it, right? So by the time it's broken down in the body, it's alkaline. And then also you have the intense astringency and to pull on the lymph system, get it moving, which will alkalize the lymph system. And it also dissolves mucus. Same with the grapes, to a lesser degree though. So all in all, it's alkalizing to the body. So I hope that helps you. But yeah, look up ash. That'll help you with that. But yeah, lemons are God, they're probably the most alkalizing of them all, because they really are powerful at moving and dissolving mucus. So yeah, I hope that helps you. Jay has one more question. And conversely, how do dairy, meat, and grains contribute to okay, so I just mentioned that they actually slow the lymph down. Slow lymph is a more acidic lymph. So they just clog it up. And especially that dairy, man, that is so mucus forming. The idea with dairy is that you have the proteins, the milk proteins in the dairy, is looked at the body as a foreign protein. So when a foreign protein comes in, the body goes, uh-oh, and it starts bombarding it with an inflammatory response, an immune response, which is inflammatory. And so that's why. And to a lesser degree, the meats and the grains, it's really the proteins that the body really kind of fights. We're taught so much in the West that we need protein, and we really don't. I'm a living example of that. I eat no meat. I'm not vegan per se, but I'm pretty much vegan. But I don't really take in a lot of so-called protein. But food, especially fruits and veggies, are full of amino acids, which are what protein is broken down into. So you're actually eating pre-digested protein, which is protein is acidic to the body. So yeah, you don't need it. You really don't need it. That's been the biggest revelation of me, and I just haven't eaten meat in, I think it's going on a couple years now. And when I discovered that I don't need it, when the body really doesn't need it. And I did my own experimentation. I didn't trust anybody fully on that one, but I did my own experimentation, and it's been working out fine. And and then I was driving back from the airport, and I saw painted on the freeway overpass, "Meat is murder." And for the first time in my life, it hit me. It hit me like, and I'm not preaching here because I know everybody's at a different, state, but because I was a meat eater for most of my life, so no judgment. But when I saw meat is murder, I got it. The suffering of those animals, we don't need to do it. These are conscious beings sharing the planet with us. We don't need to kill and eat them. And a lot of people say, well, I got off meat, but my energy levels just dropped. And yeah, they did, because these animals they're very, very intelligent, and they know they're dying. They know they're about to die. They see their friend hung up on a meat hook. They smell the blood. They hear the screams. I don't want to get too much into it. It's sad stuff. But they start pumping adrenaline, and the blood just goes out, and it just saturates that meat with the adrenaline and the epinephrine, and that's what you're getting. So you do feel energized from it. You feel all strong and all that kind of stuff, but it's fake. And I'm just I don't do it anymore, and I don't really need it. And does it smell great? Absolutely. Cooked meat smells so fantastic, but I just don't do it anymore. And it's more for a conscious reason, and also, it's just don't need it, and it's just less acidic on the body, and it's fruits, berries, and melons and salads are much easier to digest. And yeah. So if you're still eating meat, just try to draw back on it. Do your own test, see how you feel. After you get through that neurotransmitter withdrawal. So, okay, Darcy. Hi, Darcy. Hello, Mark. So love these meetings. Thank you for your love and knowledge. Love you too, Darcy. Thank you so much for you're always supportive and always sending out nice little hits of love. I love that. Thank you. Alpaca. Thanks for giving hope. Absolutely. The only advice from sufferers is negativity and hopelessness. Yeah, and also the disease mentioned earlier is a sweat gland malfunction. All right, so it's just a blocked gland. What blocks glands? It's lymph. Just get that lymph moving. You can do some things too. Topically. I was actually experimenting with putting cayenne. I did a cayenne tincture. That was the one that got me, by the way. But I was putting that directly on my skin, not in my mouth and all that. I wanted to see, if I was going to burn my skin with it. But no. So if you have circulation issues, you can actually put the cayenne, make a cayenne tincture, or make a poultice out of cayenne. Just wet some cayenne powder and just test it out, though. And you can put that on areas that need a little stimulation if they're up towards the skin level. Just try it out and see what you think. Dr. Schultz says cayenne directly on cuts will help stop the bleeding too, by the way, just as a note for you. But the thing is that, yeah, when you're suffering, suffering is a negative experience for most people. So they'll give that back. You tend to project what you're feeling. So, just bless those people and understand their suffering. The suffering projects suffering. The joyous the healed project joy. This is one of Jesus's great teachings. So, so just understand that, and just forgive everybody. The suffering beings, which there are many, many, many on this planet, will because the ego thinks if they can make someone else suffer, it lessens their suffering. It's not true. It only increases their suffering. Okay? So you just have to bless them and send them love. Send them unconditional love, no matter how much they try to project on you. And I have a saying, because I have to watch it, doing what I do, I started to take on a lot of people's suffering because I believe I'm an empath also. So I tend to attract it, and I tend to take it on, mistakenly thinking that I could help people heal by taking on their suffering. I no longer do that. And the thing that got me out of it was I say that you can love everybody unconditionally, but you don't have to like them, and you don't have to be around that suffering. You can love them unconditionally from afar, or at least at a comfortable distance, maybe touching base with them once in a while, but you don't have to fall into their negativity, because the ego will try to unload it on you, mistakenly thinking it's going to lessen it, but it doesn't. The only way to heal is where they can come to a point of unconditional love to themselves and to you. But that's another meeting. That's going to be when we start moving into spiritual stuff here. All right. So, also this disease mentioned earlier is this. Okay. So sweat gland malfunction. Okay. So we know how to get rid of that, right? Move thy lymph. Get those kidneys filtering. Get that skin filtering. Get those bowels moving. Sweat. I really underestimate sweat. Sweat is so important. Try to sweat every day. That'll take a load off of those kidneys. And try to get filtration. Try to get consistent filtration. And big deal, say you cheat once in a while. No problem. As long as you're walking the walk, you're doing great. As long as you understand this information, you understand what is, acid food, what's going to hurt you, what's going to clog you up, both in the bowels, both in the kidneys, the skin, all that. That information, so even though you're not turning it around as well as you thought you would, you're still on the path. Okay? So you know what's right now. And that's a huge breakthrough. Just knowing what the right foods to take in is so important. And I always tell people, if you're gonna go out and cheat and have some pizza, make sure it's the best darn pizza you ever had. And don't overeat, have one slice and just really savor that slice. So cheating's not the end of the world. But to do the best you can, and but still enjoy life. Still have, in other words, the good food is your predominant diet. The food that maybe isn't so good for you is that that occasional thing where you get to actually savor some taste that you really love. Because being on this planet is actually a beautiful experience to enjoy the physical world. That's why we're here. There's so many great things, and flavor is one of them. All right. But make your own judgment about the animals too. All right. So, all right. What's your take on colonics? I like colonics, although I've never done one. I can say I like them. I think they're good. I'm a big fan of enemas, especially when I'm doing my fasting. I think they're necessary especially if you're doing these intense juice fasts combined with the dry fast. Because it helps you move out toxins. If you're not getting consistent bowel movements, they're absolutely essential. So I think colonics are good. I think, I don't really know a lot of people that overdo them. I think you can get to the point where you're actually flushing so much that you're flushing out too much of the friendly bacteria, and you can't replace it quick enough. That would be a problem. But I don't really see that. I think they're great. Sismon. Simon. It's Simon. Okay, that's a lot easier to pronounce. Okay, good. This is Simon again. How long can I go fasting? I heard that beginners tend to overdo it. I did 7-day water and now 2 weeks watermelon, but I feel I could do a lot more. My kidneys are not filtering. So I don't know much about water fasting, to be honest with you. I did one a long time ago. 2 weeks watermelon. I did 44 days on pasteurized cheap grape juice and lemon. I felt great. So listen to your body, on that. Kidneys are not filtering. Try some dry fasting. Try some short-term dry fasting. I think that might help you a lot. Look into dry fasting. Like I said, start out with 12 hours and then get up to 16 a day, and then try to do a 24-hour one, once a week. And see if that doesn't kick those kidneys in. Do some herbs too. Get some kidney herbs, some lymphatic herbs, and also the GI tract herbs too. That really helps. That can help with filtering, by the way. And some adrenal herbs. Your adrenals might be down. That's why you're not getting kidney filtration. So try those. Try a basic, that level 1 kit. And what Giovanna I call it the basic four. Dr. Morse calls his the Fab Four. So combining all that, you should see some filtration pretty quickly. Okay. Jay, thanks. You bet, Jay. So Jay, I'm full-time raw, fresh fruits and vegetables for 4 months, just trying to understand everything better. That was very helpful. Good. Yeah, that's why we're here. Any questions you have? You can also email me. I answer all emails every morning. It's the first thing I do. It warms me up. And so I just provide that service to everybody. Maddie, hi, Mark. I'm currently making up some teas using some dried herbs. Excellent. Some of them came in powdered form, marshmallow and astragalus. Do I put the same amount of powder as I do the other dried herbs? I mean, of course, when I make the formulas, I do it by weight, not by volume, because some things are obviously powdered and others are real fluffy. Like nettle leaves are just super fluffy, or dandelion, things like that. So yeah, you do it by weight. I don't know if you have a gram scale. You could do it like that. I don't know. Yeah, you gotta understand the ratios and things like that. But yeah, use your judgment. Scale actually works better than judgment. But you could make up a big batch so you actually get enough to actually register the scale. But yeah. So yeah, some of the dried herbs are real super fluffy. Maddie, also, can the powders be cooked? Yeah, absolutely. Just strain them. What I do with if I have some powders is I'm making a tea. I'll just I'll put the tea through just a regular strainer, which has the wide mesh, and then I'll get it down. Once I get that, if I want to get some of that powder out of there, I'll use a finer mesh, like even a coffee strainer will get the powder out. But if you don't want to turn on digestion and get all the powder out, if you're not worried about that, leave some powder in. It really doesn't matter to me. Also, can the powders be cooked? Yeah, sure. Why not? Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, cooked with the tea water. Yeah, absolutely. Susie Snowflake watched a good documentary called What the Health? Lots of truth. Highly recommended to those on this journey. Susie, was that on Netflix? Let us know. Or was it on YouTube or HBO? Let us know. What the Health? I like the name. Sometimes I see stuff. What the hell? So. Donna Marie. All right, Donna Marie. Hello, my friend. I quit my job a week and a half ago. Excellent. I'm home now doing the modified master fast. Excellent. Dry fasting, 12 to 14 hours a day. Modified master fast, by the way, is where you do the grape lemon juice and you have one meal a day. You have either a fruit meal or a salad. So excellent. I'm really realizing how tired I am from all the travel, easing into a full-fledged master fast. So Donna Marie is a public speaker that was traveling the country endlessly, living out of hotel rooms, having a hard time sticking to a good program. So she's made a wonderful decision to quit that job and take care of herself. So that's great, Donna Marie. I'm really happy to hear that. And I believe you're Costa Rica bound too, if you want to share anything about that. Honduras. Oh, there you go. Okay, so you're going to Honduras now. Okay, excellent. I'll get to that question. I just saw that up ahead. So we got Scrappy. Scrappy's new. I like the name Scrappy. Hi, Mark. You look so much younger now compared to your previous pictures. This is a result from eating clean and fasting. By the way, I've watched you a lot, but never said anything. Love what you do. All right. Thanks, Scrappy. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for those nice comments. Yeah, I think, I've been eating pretty clean. Yeah, I'm in a good zone. I gotta say, I was in a lot of pain from that darn cayenne pepper burn. But the thing about healing is I got taken down and all that, and then probably that cayenne moved a lot of stuff out. That's why I wasn't feeling so good. So it might have something to do with that. As post healing episode or crisis, whatever you want to call it. You can actually have an afterglow. For as crappy as you feel when you're having a healing crisis, healing episode, whatever, know that you're going to come out, with an afterglow, and you're gonna be taken up a notch in healing. This is what you should think about when you're lying on your back and you're just feeling so awful. So maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. But thank you for saying that. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Donna's also preparing to go to Honduras within the next 3 to 4 weeks. Awesome. Honduras. Yeah, Central Americas. I love it. Lots of fruit down there. Rosaline, still love walnuts, almonds in salads, and I keep hearing about sprouted nuts. How do you sprout them? Do you just soak the nuts? Sorry, if this is a silly question. No, not a master fast, just fruits and salads. Yeah, if you're going to have some nuts, keep the level down because they are really high protein. But I love a crunch. So if you can, yeah, you sprout them. It's soaking them basically. And you can just Google it. There's different hours for different nuts. It's usually about 12 to 24 hours to get them. You just want to get the sprouting is just actually the nut becomes activated. The enzymes that keep animals from eating too many go away, and the nut now gets potentiated. In other words, it starts the life cycle. It becomes a living food now. So it's really important to sprout them, not necessarily to the point where they're growing shoots and all that, but just look on Google about the times to get a nut to sprout, and you can even get the wheat to sprout. You can buy the whole wheat berries and get them to sprout too. There's a lot of sprouted wheat breads, obviously. So that's just so much better. But all the nuts are just seeds really. So those will all sprout. Okay, so that's the best way to consume them, but go easy on those if you're trying to keep the lymph flowing. Alpaca, is it safe to consume cayenne if nightshades cause burning joints? Thank you for your perspective on empaths. Yeah, yeah, cayenne is all the peppers are nightshades. That's true. If you have nightshade sensitivity, look out. I am really not a fan of consuming cayenne. I think it's mucus forming and all that. I think that the dosage has got to be real small. Obviously, I way overdid it. I was playing around, which I do constantly, because I'm learning more and more each day about herbs. But I obviously did way too much. It's only because I put a drop of this on my tongue and it burned the hell out of my tongue. But then I got the bright idea to put it in some water. And when I put it in some water, it made it so I could get it down, but I consumed way too much, so it burned me. But yeah, I think that, exterior, I think I'm still cool with, but interior, not so much. Maybe low doses. I know that Dr. Morse has a cayenne garlic formula because it does stimulate circulation. It does do that. But I would do some research on the amounts, okay? Yeah, and if you get an inflammatory response to the nightshades, you may want to be very, very careful with that. But listen to your body. Try a little bit and see. But there's other things that will move. Are good for circulation, like butcher's broom and things like that, where you don't have to have the cayenne. Okay. Empaths seem to attract sociopaths. Sadly, yeah, it is. They say opposites attract. So if you're an empath, if you have a big heart and you really want to help people, watch out. A lot of people will try to they'll try to attach to you and they'll try to feed you their pain. And if you want to help people heal, you cannot sign on to too much of that. Okay, and it can be all consuming, and it really I'm very friendly about it. I just have to excuse myself and move on to other things because there's a lot of people that need our help. So someone who's a suffering soul, and they see your open heart, they really need your healing. But watch their ego. Their ego will try to unload the stuff on you to get you to suffer. It's a bit complex, but you can send them love from afar. Always know that. Unconditional love is so healing. You can say a prayer for them and just with an intention. Just close your eyes. I'm going to send this person unconditional love. and just see them in your mind's eye smiling. And that's healing right there, believe it or not. So Chaya, Rosaline, yeah, just soak the nuts in pure water overnight and rinse. Okay, simple. I love simple. Perfect. Overnight. If you have a dehydrator, you can dry them out and make them crunchy again. Yeah, or just turn the oven on to warm, and that's a good dehydrator too. Don't get it. Yeah, just make sure it's just really on warm, or even less. Don't let it go. I think don't let it go over like 150 degrees or something. If you want to keep them raw, don't let it go over 118. Okay, that will keep them raw. By the way, 118 is, I guess, the cutoff point for a lot of foods. Some will argue it's less. So just 105. Let's call it 105. Yeah, crunchy nut. That's why I love the nuts. It's the crunch and the seeds. Coffee enemas. Chase, I have a hard time with coffee enemas. I'm so sensitive to caffeine. I do those and it feels like I've had 10 Starbucks cups. So I'm not the guy to ask. I know that the Gerson Institute that does healing work down in Tijuana really likes the coffee enemas, and that they're supposed to really be good for clean out the liver and the gallbladder and all that. But yeah, I'm not really a fan. I did try a couple, and I got so whacked out. I just can't do them. But yeah, some say they really do release the bile ducts and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm not against it. Using a really pure coffee, though, organic coffee. But gonna the only thing about too much caffeine too could really overstimulate those adrenal glands too. We don't want to stimulate those adrenals too much. We want bring them up on their own, so they do the work. Terrell, Mark Colonic challenge on. Oh, okay, all right, Terrell. Yeah, I don't know. I just I don't know. Maybe it's my shyness going in there, and it's kind of a private, sensitive area. I don't know. I get over it, I guess. But maybe I should go do one just to see what it's all about. It goes so much deeper than an enema. Yeah, that's what I hear. It gets up into, I guess it gets into the small intestines. Usually it releases several inches of mucoid plaque right afterwards. Wow. Wow, excellent. All right, so maybe I'll have to do that. All right. Yeah, I guess it's part of the whole game here. Simon, thank you very much. Gladly, I'm in the USA and I've already ordered some, but I'll get even more. Thanks again. Awesome. Chaya, contrary to popular belief, colonics actually help good bacteria proliferate and quite quickly. Yeah, but can you do too many of them? If you really become a colonicaholic, can you actually flush out too much? I don't know. Yeah, I know that bacteria really does come back fast. If you're eating really well, eating a lot of fruits, berries, and melons, and the salads and all that, it's gonna come back very, very quickly. A lot of these probiotics have got the milk things and all, milk bacteria and all that, which we don't need. So yeah, you can't keep bacteria out of the body, but that's good to know. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not against colonics at all. I just haven't done them, but I'm still getting used to the enema thing. Susie Snowflake, YouTube has What the Health, also available for DVD purchase or download on Amazon. Excellent. See, Christina's back. Ugh, Wednesday nights now. Ugh, I will try to keep up with you, Mark. Sorry about that. Yeah. I'm in kind of a spiritual study group. I'll leave it at that. So on Monday nights. Yeah, so I just thought I'd do that. It's going to be for about a couple months, so maybe I'll go back to Monday nights if you guys want me to. But I like this Wednesday. This Wednesday is kind of neat. Gives me something to look forward to at that midweek hump. Tony Roberts, do you mess around with niacin? I don't. I know the niacin can, open up those capillaries and actually give you a flushing action. I don't do it. Only because of my teachings from Dr. Morse. Dr. Morse is not a fan of any kind of isolated chemistry, as he says. So none of these synthetic vitamins, these isolated vitamins. We get our vitamins in a holistic form through the natural way. I'm all about, and so is Dr. Morse. We're all about that, or we wouldn't be here. We're all nature people, in essence, we're God people. We believe in the power of nature, I mean, think about all the forces that are keeping all this moving. This is so powerful, and it's very, very highly complex beyond one single mind's ability to monitor it or even begin to know about it. So what I just tell people is, let's just get out of the way. If we can just get out of the way, just step aside, and we can step aside by clearing out the obstructions that we put in the body, by not knowing what to do, by not knowing what to eat, mostly. We just get out of the way, and then all of a sudden these forces that are constantly working on us, both internally and from the outside, they can do their job. They want to do their job, but they just can't get to where they need to go because we've gunked up the system. We've turned it into just a sludgy, coagulated, gummy mess. And we're just trying to get back to our natural birthright. Instead of burning up, instead of clogging up and providing a home for all kinds of parasites. Anything that isn't supposed to be in the body is a parasite. They're negative forces. We don't want them in the body, and the body doesn't want them in the body. It just has to be able to get to them. So step aside, and we only can step aside by returning the lymph system to its free-flowing self. Blood's easy. Blood's easy to get moving. Blood's easy to alkalize. You can alkalize the blood just by breathing right. So, that's simple. The lymph is the hard part. And, some of us are so backed up head to toe. We're just so full of acids that it starts getting us down into the cell level. And we know what they call damaged cells. And that is so rampant, you guys. So rampant throughout this world. It's so sad. So we just have to return that body to its alkalized state. And the magic happens. So get out of the way. It's like when the firemen show up. It's best to just step aside. Put your garden hose down, and just get out of the way and let them do their job. They've got the right tools. They've got the right training. Susie, have you ever added dry herbs to the psyllium pudding on Master Fast? Now that would actually break the meaning of the Master Fast, which is not to turn on digestion. Have I done it? Yes. I was using the GI broom powder during my Master Fast. I was still getting out tons of mucoid plaque though. But one would argue that I was not on the pure Master Fast, but I was getting fantastic results. So you can do it, but it's not recommended because you don't want anything that's going to turn on the digestion. You want the predigested juices to go in, and that gives the body a lot of power to do other things like heal you. All right. So Terrell, what are your recommendations for dry fasting during the menstruation cycle? I am 45, and since starting Master Fast, my cycle is every 24 days. This month, I'm experiencing a lot of fatigue during it. Any ideas? Man, I've never heard that question. Terrell, this is a great question for the Master Fast system Facebook page, because I guarantee you this has been addressed on that. I wouldn't even know how to answer that, to be honest. I could kind of back engineer it, but I think that'd be a great question for them. And ask that, report back to us what you find, because dry fasting during a menstruation cycle, what about that too? That would be an interesting question to find out. But great, yeah. Let us know what you find, okay? Because I'd love to learn that portion of it too to help people. Jay the Explorer, I think I am getting a lot of acid through my mouth. Okay, my teeth stain easily, still dark from blackberries 3 days ago, and mouth tastes bad and acidic. Okay, so get some pH papers and test your mouth. You can instantly find out. Anything below 7 is on the acidic side. All right, so if you got the stains on the teeth, your enamel's being chewed away, and what will chew away enamel? Acids. So yeah, I think you're on the right track. You're getting a lot of bad taste in the mouth too. So Yeah, test the strips out. So let's say it comes back and you're acidic in the mouth. How are we going to take care of that? Okay. Well, we're gonna get the kidneys filtering, so the acids start to drain out of the body. Right. You're backed up all the way up here, though. Okay. So it tells me that your neck is backed up. Right. Your head's probably backed up too. So anything above here, you want to get the GI tract moving too. The transverse colon. If that is not moving, if that's blocked, the head and neck have a hard time draining, and of course the mouth and all that. All right, so you know it's that basic four again: kidneys, lymph, adrenals, and GI tract. Okay, and get that all working with the herbs. Now you can also get Dr. Morse's Heal All Tea, the Javana Detox Tea, or lymphatic herbs, and put those in the mouth. Make a tea. Put it in the mouth and swish that around. Hold that in the mouth for 5-10 minutes. Swish that around all through there. That will pull lymph. Get lymph moving in that mouth area. Help alkalize that mouth. You can lose your teeth. You can lose your gums. You can get all kinds of lesions and sores and what they call cancer in the mouth too. You don't want to mess around with this. So get that going. Okay. But yeah, before it starts really, dental work is so expensive. We got Ronnie Max. You're new here. Good. Mark, please. I got psoriasis. Psoriasis. I feel lost. Okay. So psoriasis. I'm glad you asked this question. So any kind of skin thing. Here's what happens when you're acidic and your kidneys aren't filtering, or not filtering enough, and you're taking an acid chemistry. You're eating meat, dairy, grains. Drinking Red Bulls and beers and all that kind of stuff. It's all acid forming chemistry. So the body's trying to get rid of it, but it can't do it fast enough, so it sends it out to the skin. Now what happens is those acids come out to the skin and it starts blocking up. The acids hit those subcutaneous layers and start, causing an inflammatory response because the skin doesn't want to burn either. And it starts locking up the skin. All right, so the skin becomes acidic, traps toxins, traps pathogens, all that kind of stuff, and it starts to burn. Okay, so psoriasis is a sign that your kidneys are not filtering and you're backing up with acids. So you got to sweat. Your thyroid's probably down because you're probably not sweating. Check the basal temperatures. That gives you a good indication of your thyroid health. You can get a basal thermometer that goes underneath the armpit. You check it first thing in the morning before you even move out of bed. Get one that's made for underarm testing. The women use them for ovulation cycles. You can find them anywhere. I got mine on eBay, I think, for $8, or Amazon for $8. Try to get one of those old-fashioned ones. Those are neat. But I think the digital ones will work too. But make sure it's for underarm. Okay, make sure it's a basal one too, and you can check that. So we like to see, I think it's 97.8 or above. 97.8 or above. Anything below that is showing thyroid weakness. Okay, so if you have thyroid weakness, detoxify, move lymph, and get on some thyroid herbs, and move that out. Dry skin brushing, sweating, get to saunas, hot and cold showers. Get that lymph moving. Get those kidneys filtering. Okay, you're just backing up. Skin is the third kidney. All your kidneys are backed up. All right? So there you go. That's for all skin problems, by the way. Same story. Same exact story. All right? Jay, would brushing, swishing with coconut oil and baking soda also be advisable? Yeah, those are alkalizing too. You can do that too, but I think those lymphatic herbs that are in those teas really, really help too. But you got to move lymph internally too. All right. But yeah, these external things. There's so many things that help. Okay. There's so many things that we've devised to help us externally. These are all good, but you've got to do the internal work too. You have to have moving lymph, or it just will always come back. The treatments they're just topical things, okay? But they do help. I have nothing against them, but that's not what heals, okay? What heals is you, is the healing forces that are you, okay? Those same forces that make a tail grow back on a lizard, those same forces that make a caterpillar turn completely into a different animal. These are all these beautiful, forces that are here, the forces that heal, stage 4 cancers out of the blue, all that kind of stuff. That these are what we need to turn back on. Okay, and we do that internally through that lymphatic system. All right, so alpaca. So Ronnie Max, cut out yeast and gluten proteins. Good idea. Potentially nightshades, kill off parasites, and filter kidneys. I'll let Mark answer the rest. Okay, excellent. That's pretty good. Pretty darn good. Yeah. Well, yeah, you're not going to have yeast if you get off the breads and the grains. Absolutely. And the gluten, protein. Yeah, you got to get off those grains for sure. Potentially nightshades, kill off the parasites. Yeah, that's a good point. Glad you mentioned that. On that basic 4, throwing in an anti-parasite formula is always a good idea. Always a good idea, especially in the beginning, just to kill off these funguses. And sometimes they're even animals that are living inside of you. Camille, I am listening intensely. Good, Camille. Excellent. Rosaline, thanks, Chaya and Mark. I'll limit the nuts to keep lymph moving. Good. Excellent. Yeah, a little crunch is kind of neat, though, isn't it? We love it. Chaya, Rosaline, a good alternative to nuts is sunflower seeds. They're delicious and crunchy. Absolutely, they are. And they sprout very easily, by the way. You can actually make sprouted, get the sprout little shoots to go on sunflower seeds, too. Who was it? It was the guy that did Survival in the 21st Century. Viktoras Kulvinskis was a big fan of those sunflower. He was talking how for just a few cents he could make all these greens, and save a ton of money. He'd make these big sprout salads. A great book, by the way, Survival in the 21st Century. One of those like 60s hippie books, like Be Here Now by Ram Dass. They're written on that brown paper. A lot of funky drawings. A really great book. I love that book. If you haven't had a chance to read that, it's excellent. Viktoras Kulvinskis, Survival in the 21st Century. One of the great alternative healers, I think. Let's see. Camille, I recommend to use lemons in enema solutions. Yeah, it's actually great. I've done it. Lemons are really astringent. They'll pull stuff out of the bowels, and they're alkalizing. So yeah, I've done that. You really feel like you've got a deep cleaning with the lemons. Excellent. Thank you, Camille. Chaya, thanks so much for this chat. Great to learn from everyone and hear you speak, Mark. Thank you. Yeah, and thank you, everybody. This participation is so great. This is a great time for me. Will this be a regular weekly Q&A? Yeah, I do as many as I can. I try to be consistent as I can. And Wednesday, it seems like it's a good night. And we have a good group here. So fantastic. Yeah, we'll see you next Wednesday night. Let's see. I just skipped ahead here. Rosaline, are the sunflower seeds very low in protein too? Yes, love the crunch. I think they're probably pretty high in protein. Just kind of limit them, sprout them and limit them, dry them out real good so they're crunchy. But they're certainly a lot better, like sometimes you can do crunched up tortilla chips to get the crunch on salads, but that's deep fried. That's a whole nother issue. These are better than that, of course. And if you keep them, don't overheat them, they'll be raw too. Tony Roberts, thanks for the reply on my Niacin question. You bet, Tony. Susie, how did you find a spiritual study group that appeals to you? Any tip on this would help? Well, meetup.com is fantastic. There's a lot of spiritual groups up there. And they'll post their time and dates on meetup.com, and you can pretty much find what is appealing to you there. Yeah. So any kind of a city has all these meetups. And there's all kinds of things. Reiki, Reiki healing is a big one. I know they do a lot of those on Meetup.com. There's, of course, always, there's all kinds of spiritual groups through the churches. Whatever your flavor of church is too. Course in Miracles is huge on Meetup.com. Kabbalah, is a big one. I could go on and on. Just look on Meetup.com, or do a Google search in your area, and you'll find something that there's so many flavors in that regard there. So you'll find something. Okay. Jorge, hello, Mark. Any books for how to know the body, such as pain or feeling sick? Any books for how to know the body, such as pain or feeling sick? Ooh, I don't really understand that question fully. Maybe you can help me out and tell me more. Okay, tell me more, a little bit more specific about your pain or feeling sick. Okay, that's a very, very broad subject. Okay, Jorge, yeah, give me another chat line here. We got Z Kirstine. Hold on here. Okay, Z Christine, I can get on the live chat, but I cannot connect to the video. Do you limit how many persons can get connected? No, I don't. I don't know why that's happening. I will have to wait for the recording to hear. Ooh, I'm sorry about that. I don't know. Check your check your computer or something. I don't know. Maddie, also in reference to making teas, how would one find the correct ratios of dried herbs for teas like your Giovanna tea, as I am making my own? Thanks. There is a site, I think it's called Herbs, Do It Yourself, is it Do It Yourself Herbs for Detox? It's a Facebook group, okay? Yeah, Do It Yourself Herbs for Detox, I think it is. And he's got a lot of Dr. Morse's ratios up there. It's something like that. Do it yourself herbs, maybe, is all it is, on Facebook. And there's a lot of ratios for a lot of those up there. Okay? That should help you, Maddie. And good luck on making your stuff, okay? Edita, hi, Mark. Yellow skin on an orange diet. Why? Please explain. Or you're getting yellow skin on an orange diet. Well, yellow skin, I would first say you've got some jaundice. You got some liver issues. Maybe are you doing a lot of oranges? That I hear that people can turn a little bit orange from all the oranges. If you're doing a whole ton of them, that might be something. But I would suggest it's liver. Look in the whites of your eyes. If you see yellow in the whites of your eyes, that is a confirmation that it's liver. Okay. We got James Bond 07. Your thoughts on the Medical Medium book. I've seen the Medical Medium. I haven't read his book, but I've seen him on YouTube. I just watched him for about an hour. Interesting guy. I really do study mediumship a lot. I believe what he's saying is the truth. But as far as I didn't really see his healing modality come into view, a consistent healing modality like what Dr. Morse is teaching. I believe that Dr. Morse is a medical medium too, by the way. He's never said that, but I suspect that this man is a channel to what we call doctors of the astral. So anyways, but I find Dr. Morse has a better plan. But I don't know enough about him. Please help me if point me in the right direction. If he has a consistent plan on how you can heal. Jorge, such as like upset stomach. Okay, so upset stomach, pain in the colon, or any signs of the body might communicate to stop eating bad food. Or how do we know our body? Well, I would read Dr. Morse's book, okay, the Detox Miracle Source Book. That will explain a lot about the body. It's actually a lot of scientific stuff in there. It'll help you understand the body more. When I see pain in the colon, In the GI tract, I know that you got acidosis trapped in those bowels, and you want to get that out. You got acidosis trapped in the stomach. Okay, upset stomach could be poor food combinations. When you eat proteins and starches together, two enzymes, opposite enzymes, come in and cancel each other out, and you get a lot of putrefaction. There, you're just not digesting properly. Your pancreas could be weak. When you take in protein, the body's got to have some sodium bicarbonate to help with that, help neutralize that. If you don't have that, then you start burning, acid refluxing, all kinds of things. So just don't eat bad foods, and you don't have to worry about the body communicating. It will communicate when you when you don't eat right. So study Dr. Morse. Get his book. That would be the best book I can think. I'm currently reading it. I'm on the endocrine section at the moment. Good. It's a big book. Yeah, take your time. Take your time and learn it well. It'll really, really help you with yourself and with others too. So yeah, that's a good one. He does explain the systems. What's really good about it, he explains the body systems from a healing point of view. The lymphatic point of view, the acid alkaline point of view. So once you understand that, once you understand the simplicity of that, the book is a bit complicated, to be honest with you. A lot of that is just for, FYI, for your information. You don't have to know all this stuff to heal. Okay, you just have to know to get the kidneys filtering and move lymph, and get the bowels moving, get the skin moving. Learn a little bit about herbs and dry fasting, and you're pretty much off and running. So this stuff, the body's complex, but what we need to do is not complex. Leave the complexity to Mother Nature. You handle simplicity. You handle the simplicity of getting back to the natural world, the natural chemistry, taking that in, and you're going to do just fine. Okay? Yeah, is it the group Do-It-Yourself Herbs for Detox and Regeneration? I think it is that group. Yeah, I think it is that group. And they will have, if you look under their, go up to the top and look under their files. In the files section, you'll see those ratios up there. I'm not sure if they're Dr. Morse's ratios, but they seem pretty good. Okay, Jorge, I'm on all fruits, by the way, but just wanted to get a glimpse of how the body works. I've had heartburns since raw. It stopped, of course, and digestion is way better. Yeah, you probably start, when you first start doing this and you're acidic, you may start stirring up acids and actually get some acidic events come in and think, oh my God, I'm going down the wrong direction. I got to stop this. But, if you push through that and you come out the other side a lot stronger. So good. So, man, we've done an hour and a half already. I can't believe it, you guys. Really wonderful. If you have some other questions, I'd be happy to stick around. I know sometimes we take a little pause at about an hour and a half, and then we pick up again. Maybe some people are out squeezing some juices right now. I don't know. But I would be happy. Oh, here's Bitsy. Bitsy's awake to say hi. She's had her hour and a half snooze here. Yeah. All right. Good. So Jorge, you're going to start his juice fast tomorrow as well. Excellent. Yeah. Keep us posted how you're doing. Check back in next Wednesday. Oh, here's Simon. Question about my grandmother, 77, very sick. Sorry. Pancreas shut down and diabetes type 2. Probably a lot of other stuff too. I want to buy her a juicer and start to move it this way. Excellent. Yeah. If your grandmother is up to it, like I say, we're all supreme beings. We all have been gifted free will. So you can't make anybody do something they don't want to do. You can present the information. You can just educate them, and hopefully she wants to do it. Diabetes type 2, this is another name for just blood sugar issues. You gotta basically get the pancreas working again, get the mucus and pus out of that pancreas, bring it back up. There's ways to do that through the herbs, and to also get those adrenals firing again. Sugar metabolism's way off. Those adrenals are probably super weak. But get on that basic kit and then go after those adrenals, go after that pancreas. And then there's other stuff too. The pituitary might be down. So when I see multiple glands down, I kind of in suspect of that pituitary, because the pituitary communicates with the glands. So if that's down, those glands don't function properly. So a juicer would be a fantastic idea. The best juicer is the easiest one to clean, if you ask me, and the one that you're going to use. I love a NutriBullet. It's not really a juicer, but it's fantastic. So yeah, that would be great to move in the direction. Educate yourself more about detoxification. Get a hold of me if you have questions. Like I say, answer all emails first thing in the morning. I'll be happy to help. And God bless your grandma. And let's get her to Wellville. It's never too late. The older you get, the more set in your ways you get. But keep pushing on. Provide the information. Provide the inspiration. And send her unconditional love, no matter how she reacts to you. And she'll probably come around eventually. So Rosaline, night all. Got to get up early, but thank you for all your advice. You bet, Rosaline. Simon, is it possible to help her at this age? Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't care how old people are. It's never too late. Or, and alkalizing the body just takes away the pain too. Any kind of pain you're having just takes it away. A lot of old people have aches and pains because they're just burning up. All their joints are hot. Organs are hot. Everything's hot. Jorge, of course. Okay. Sicarius Argametus. Okay. Armageddus. Sicarius Armageddus. Tell me the story behind that name. I love it. Is a colon and Candida cleanse by Dr. Tobias any good? Don't know Dr. Tobias. I've heard the name. Haven't really researched him. Don't really know. James Bond, is rebounding good for eczema? Yeah, rebounding gets lymph moving. Absolutely. But be careful with rebounding. If your kidneys aren't filtering, you're pushing acids towards the kidneys that aren't working. So get at least some kidney filtration before you do a lot of rebounding, please. Jorge, fruits will kill Candida. Fructose from fruits will not cause Candida growth. Amen. They kill Candida in the way that they neutralize, they alkalize the lymph and dissolve mucus and get lymph flowing. That's the only way to really get rid of Candida. You can take the herbs to kill it. That's easy, but they got to be able to get to those infestations. That's the hard part. The Candida accumulates in the most hardened and slow lymph. So you want to get that dissolved and get it moving. But the combination of fruits, herbs, and especially parasite herbs is really powerful. And kidney filtration will get rid of Candida eventually. Simon, yeah, just try to get rid of sugar in the diet. Good luck with that. Starches are full of sugar. So all these people say, "Oh, don't take fruit because it's going to feed Candida." Well, what about that sandwich you just had? Come on. Simon, thanks for answering all my questions. You bet. Tony, I use a NutriBullet and a milk bag to take out the pulp. It's way faster. That's what I've been doing too. Absolutely. I have just a paint straining bag from Home Depot. It costs $1. I use a NutriBullet. I open that fruit up and boom. I love it. I do it too. I like it in my hands and squeezing too. I'm going to do a little video on that, Tony. I'm glad you're doing that. Excellent. Jorge has the Omega 8006, great juicer too. Yeah, slow juicing is really good when you're not heating it up so much. But like I say, the best juicer is the one you're using. Sicarius, are these two areas of cleansing the body a good place to start? Well, the colon certainly is a great area. You got to start with that. And killing Candida is great to start. Like I said, you may have not heard it, but I said, okay, the 4 are getting the kidneys opened up, number 1 area. Okay, getting kidney filtration, number 1. Getting the adrenals back up, number 2. And the rest of the glands too. A gland formula, balanced glands, an adrenal tonic. These things are great. Also getting the GI tract moving, and also lymph herbs to get the lymph moving. And then an anti-parasite's wonderful too. Let's call it the Fab 5, okay? So that's a great place to start. That's a level 1 detox, okay? So good. Let's see. Okay, so we got health exists. Have you worked with Morgellons before? Thanks. Yeah, a lot of people have Morgellons. I have helped some people with it. It's basically, I treat it like a candida, and I also treat it like a skin problem. So what it is, I really, I mean, people tell me some really strange things about the Morgellons. That it's like these little worm-like things. Other people say it's like this nano particle. If it's not supposed to be in the body, it's not going to be able to be there. The body's that intelligent. It's that clean. The body's like a neurotic when it comes to cleanliness, if it can get there. So we have to remove the obstructions in the skin. We have to remove the obstructions in the kidneys so it doesn't have to send toxicity and acids out to the skin that blocks it up. So get sweating, concentrate on those kidneys in the skin and detoxification of the lymphatic system. Okay. Anything that's not supposed to be there is bye-bye. See you later. Sicarius, thank you, Mr. Gordon. You bet, Sicarius. Joni, thank you, Mark. You bet. James Bond. What way can I know if the kidneys are filtering or not? Well, I have a video, how to get kidney filtration. It's one of my most popular videos. That'll teach you all about that. Just add in dry fasting. That came after I made the video. I have to update that video with the dry fasting because it is very important. But you'll know when you pee into a jar and you see it cloudy, you don't want to see crystal clear urine. No matter what color it is. I don't care if it's yellow, orange, clear, whatever. Just we don't want to see it clear. We don't like crystal clear urine. We like it to be opaque. A little bit of cloudiness in it is good. That's how you know. Cloudier the better. You don't have to have it super cloudy all the time, but just some cloudiness each time. You'll know that you're actually moving some toxins out. And so that's really the best way to tell. I hide my little jar behind the toilet. I don't want anybody to see my pee jar. So it's a private thing, but check that urine often. First urine in the morning is really a good one to check. And you'll see if you're filtering. Okay, we've got Health Exists. Thank you for taking your time. You guys are awesome. Keep the movement going. You bet. Absolutely, we're keeping this going. It's wonderful. We actually have a movement that's growing, and just glad that everybody's ready to accept this information, including myself. And it does work, but don't listen to me. Don't take my word for it. Start doing these things and see what happens, and just see how good you feel, and watch everything start to clear up. Okay, so looks like about an hour and 40. So looks like we're slowing down here. It's so great to have you. So great to be here on Wednesday nights now, and we'll see you guys here next Wednesday night. Have your questions ready. Like I say, email me during the week if you have any urgent matters, and I would be glad to help. So till then, God bless you, and happy healing to all, and spread the word. Okay, thank you very much. Good night.